Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new, my name is Haley, and this is my first time using a microphone, so I hope it works. But I wanted to come on here today to create a longer video to talk about my, I was going to say health journey, but more so it's like my chronic pain journey. And today is the perfect day for that because I finally got a diagnosis. So I would say it started about 2 years ago. I started experiencing really bad, what I thought at the time was lower back pain. Later to discover that it was actually my hips. Um, it was like debilitating and it came out of nowhere. I went from like being totally fine, weightlifting, like heavy weightlifting, doing yoga, not having any physical limitations, to being bedridden, bedbound, couldn't move, couldn't walk, excruciating pain. And I was experiencing that for about a week before it started getting a little bit better. My first instinct was to go to the chiropractor because that was the only thing I trusted at the time. And with that, they told me that the pain was coming from my hips, my sacroiliac. So I continued to get adjustments, and that helped a little bit, like temporary relief. Um, I'm pretty resistant to like the medical system, and was even more so at that time. So I pretty much refused to go to the doctor. But my mom has a lot of things. She has autoimmune disease with like rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, porosis, a genetic disorder called EDS, Ehlers-Danlos. So I kind of knew in the back of my mind that that was a possibility, but I was more in denial because I don't, I didn't want to have those things. I didn't want to have to go through what my mom's gone through. So I would continue to have off and on flare ups of my hips and would go to the chiropractor, would just have to stop working out. And I was stubborn and I would go back to the gym and it would get worse. And then I would stop and it would get little bit better. And then I would go back to the gym and it would get worse. And it got to the point to where I was like, I have to quit the gym altogether. And that did help, but I would still experience flare ups to where like my leg would completely give out, like excruciating pain, like stabbing like a hot knife into my back, just so painful and debilitating, which is really hard for me because I love being active and working out. So I would started doing like lower impact things, hoping that would help. Even yoga would trigger a flare up, and I began to get like really frustrated and just wanted answers. So I got a genetic test done for EDS that came back negative, but what I didn't know was that HEDS doesn't show up on a genetic marker test. So then I was like, okay, maybe I have that. I most likely have that. Um, so then I reached out to my primary care doctor. She referred me to a genetics doctor to talk about the EDS thing. Couldn't get into one of those for like over a year. So I was like, scratch that. Got an MRI. The MRI results showed that I had inflammation in my sacroiliac. They called it sacroiliitis. So then she referred me to an orthopedic doctor. Went to the orthopedic doctor, got x rays. They said they don't show anything and that I should go to a hip specialist, like a hip orthopedic doctor. Um, couldn't find one of those in my insurance in my area. So I was like, okay, I'll try something else. So I went to ChatGPT and became best friends with ChatGPT. Oh my god, I love ChatGPT. It helped me so much. It like I showed it my lab results from the MRI and it broke that down for me. We talked about like possible likely um, conditions I could have, and it recommended that I get tested for autoimmune disease, which was just blood tests. So I told my primary care. She referred me to go get those tests done. So I went and got tested for the autoimmune diseases. Those came back positive um, for I can't remember specifically, HLA something, I'm pretty sure. Um, and so then she said I need to go to a rheumatologist. So today I went to the rheumatologist, explained my symptoms, told him about the sacroiliitis, and he conducted some other kind of test on me with like my back. And he said that based on everything, I have ankylosing spondylitis, which is a mouthful, and that was a really scary diagnosis because it's arthritis of the spine and everything is connected to the spine. And so it was scary, but also reassuring because I finally have a diagnosis. Like I finally have like confirmation of like my pain and my symptoms, and it's not just in my head. And he wants me to get on some medication. I'm still thinking about doing that. I'm pretty anti meds. He wants to put me on meloxicam, which is an NSAID, like ibuprofen. And then if that doesn't help, then he'll put me on biologics, which I don't know. I'll have to do more research and think about it. I've been pretty good managing my symptoms with diet and physical therapy exercises, but I will still have flare ups that are pretty limiting, and I want to be able to go back to the gym and like lift heavy again. So I figure that, maybe these other medical interventions are necessary in the short term to reduce the inflammation so that I can get back into the gym and get better mobility. So yeah, I could have probably structured this a little bit better with like giving you better time frames with everything, but I would say that I'm grateful that my diagnosis came pretty quickly. I did some research, and some people, it takes them years, like 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 years to get diagnosed. And for me personally, why it didn't take that long is because once I decided that I'm going to go the medical route of getting diagnosed, I'm going to take it very seriously and like not take no for an answer. Like no as in I don't like know what's going on. And honestly, ChatGPT helped so much. It gave me so much information and direction of like what tests to ask for, which definitely sped up the process. And also, the internet of like other people's experiences and my mom having gone through a similar experience, except hers was a long time ago, like getting diagnosed and all that, but it still gave me an idea of like what to look for. Most people don't have that of like what to look for, but I kind of knew. I didn't know it was ankylosing spondylitis. I knew that it was either EDS or autoimmune disease, so that helped a lot. But pretty much all of the non-medical interventions that can be done for this, I have been doing with my keto diet, which is extremely low inflammatory when it's done, with a whole foods, which I'm doing the animal-based keto version. So like no seed oils and stuff like that, or processed foods. So that has helped a lot, along with staying active, which is so important to me. Like I walk every day, even if I'm having a flare up, like I do everything I can to stay mobile. I've been doing my physical therapy exercises that ChatGPT has helped design for me, um, and feeling pretty good today. So I'll come back on here and talk about this more in depth, but I just wanted to get this video out there since I got diagnosed today. So yeah, if you are experiencing pain and you're feeling like gaslit by doctors, like I understand, and don't give up. There is help, there's answers out there for you, and I wish you all the best, and I appreciate you guys, and thank you for watching.